Hello and welcome to Hail It RV, everybody. My name is Josh, the RV nerd, and behind us, coming in at just over 3,500 pounds dry weight, which means just under 1,500 pounds of loading capacity, we've got what I like to call a smaller hauler. This is the little 18RJB Wolf Pup. It comes in both the standard series that we're looking at here today, as well as the Smexy black label. Gives us that good fiberglass and the sleek frameless windows. This is an awesome little camper for someone who's like, listen, I just want to tow small, but I love the idea of that patio, or somebody who maybe has like a motorcycle. But it doesn't have to be just motorcycles. Kayak enthusiasts, e-bikes, dog kennels, you know, for people who bounce around between dog shows. This is something that could potentially work for a properly tow package equipped like SUV. You don't even need to be in a half-ton range here. I would, the maximum loaded weight of this thing is close to 5,000 pounds, so I would certainly like to see your tow capacity a clip above that, but just to give you an idea of what kind of vehicles you're looking at, you know, like a mid-sized, say, tow package Tacoma or a Ranger, a mid-sized pickup. This is something with a tow package you could haul very realistically, jerk all over the place, have a smaller vehicle, a smaller trailer to take care of, be more navigable in and out of places. The trailer's only 7 foot wide, so it's not like it's super big and intimidating behind you. But frankly, there's nothing that says if you have a 1-ton dually, you couldn't hook up to one of these. What I love about this one, though, is its flexibility. This is a very, very popular model. I've only seen one of these ever come back into our used inventory. When people buy one of these, they tend to keep it. And I think it's because of the flexibility. Because you can use it in so many different ways. It would be an awesome little solo runaround camper for just, say, a single lady running around. You know, not everything has to be a couples camper necessarily. I think that, again, for the dog shows, the bikes, there's so many different ways you could use this one. And it even has pretty decent guest capacity if you want to do a little, like, buddy hunting camp or something like that. And this is a good, albeit rare instance of what I like to call a smaller hauler. It's like toy haulers, they're always like 5,000 pounds and above. And this is something that comes in, you know, with that 3,500 pound dry weight that is hard to find. You do have a plywood floor, though, which is where they're able to anchor these 2,500 pound rated D-rings in here. And you notice you have a half dozen of those going all the way up to basically where the bathroom wall is. Now, there's 100 million zillion different little individual measurements somebody could possibly want on a toy hauler. I can't possibly predict all of them. There are some of the more core measurements included on the floor plan diagram dead at the beginning of this video that you can pause and review at your leisure. We can always send you a photo of that. We can send our team out to get extra measurements. What I can also tell you is that it's just a little bit shy of 14 feet from the back of the ramp up to that bed base. So if you've got like one thing you're gonna load in here, what I love is how they left basically the whole door side of this RV effectively naked, so that you could load up whatever you wanted, however you wanted in this thing. There's only one little thing I think I'd really like to see back here. I would really like to see a ramp to floor transition flap, so that when you are loading, you don't have that funky little jump jut right there. It is nice to have that smoothed out a little bit. It's just something you just don't see a lot of toy hauler manufacturers do nowadays that they used to. That's one of those areas I would like to see kind of reinstated as compared to the days of camping past, you know. We are 6.5 foot tall inside. We've got a full power 13,500 BTU roof air standard on these guys. Up top here, in case you're curious, that extra circle that is right in front of us here, that is actually a little subwoofer system for the audio package on this. Now the countertops, like all of your Cherokees, are a sealed edge pressed membrane material. And I always try to be fair. Opening this all up for you, you see that there's decent space given the small nature of this camper. It's about the same kitchen that you get in almost any Wolf Pup. It is, though, lacking completely in any sort of drawers. There's the space under the sink or whatever in that little cabinet area. I think that you could get a little utensil organizer and it could do the job, you know. TV accommodations are also not one of the primary foci of this floor plan. That is the plural version of focus. You don't hear uttered very often, but that up here is where it could be located, so it does have a TV hookup. If you're going to be viewing that either from the bed or from the rear dinette, which we will see in a minute, because right now I basically just got this thing in garage loading mode. In a sense, we're actually looking at road mode first on this camper today. We'll come back and look at this little kind of flip up, down, inside out bench arrangement later. What I do like about these though is you could use one of them, you could use both of them, you could use neither of them, you could do whatever you wanted. And the table that comes with it's free floating. I got it just over here out of the way. But what's kind of cool is a great example of the fact that you could use that off of your campsite. And when it's folded down like that, that is almost like the perfect little table height to have right between a couple little chairs over here under your power awning. Have a little drink sitting on that thing there, you know. I've seen people, I don't know why people have been doing this lately here on a couple trade-ins, where it looks like they've just been, you know, using this as a cutting board. Man, you're going to scratch up your countertop. I mean, that's not what it's intended for, really. That's certainly not how I would use it, but hey, to each their own. One thing I really do like over here, though, look at the door side window coverage on this. I mean, it's awesome. You can see all over your site with this, not to mention the fact that you've got that big ramp wide open behind us if you want to use it more as a patio function. Actually, let me flip you around and take a look at that real quick while I'm talking about it. Because that is, I think, one of the really key points of this floor plan, is that you're towing a small trailer, but instead of getting wider with a slide out, we get longer with that ramp patio, and that is incredibly uncommon on a narrow body camper. You usually do not get an actual ramp patio situation of any variety unless the trailer's at least 8 foot wide. And this is also, I think, a really good time to showcase that handy little roll down 3-season tent wall kind of job that we got right here. Obviously, as you can see, I've got it in like screen room mode right now. But just in case you're curious, if you want to just fully like block out the sun back here, you have one of those opportunities too. Now, if it's breezy, they won't be flapping around because the two sections actually zip up the middle, sort of like a tent. One of the other cool things about this is it has a little thing they've added on here I like to call the puppy saver, which is also very handy, by the way, in case you got like a little toddler bopping around or something. This little gap between the ramp patio and the framework right here, a small dog could easily hop right out that thing. And, you know, you don't want to lose your dog. You don't want him running, barking at the neighbors or whatever the case may be. It is nice that you can kind of close that off. Of course, if you don't want him there, you don't need him there. It's just 3 little buckle straps and off they go. And as long as we're doing this, well, I figured why not just finish setting it up so you can kind of see a little bit of what I'm talking about. Now, it is brand new off the factory production line. This little tent rolled wall right here, it's still kind of crinkled up. When the RV gets warm and that material really, you know, heats up and relaxes a little bit, a lot of those little ironing board wrinkles smooth right out. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Oh, crap! The bedroom and the bathroom. Oh, crap, the bathroom. Classic. Sorry about that. Got myself a little off kilter here today, and obviously I have the humor of a 5-year-old, so pardon me. Now, what we have down below here is a 60-inch wide by 74-inch long camp queen. You have room for a true queen if you remove that headboard. You could put a 60 by 80 true queen bed in here, and there's no wiring or anything run into it, so that is an opportunity that you have here. You see household outlets on the left. That funky thing up on the left side, upper left right now, that is a USB hub. There's 2 USB plugs there, but it's also a specific little kind of mounting point for a drive portable Bluetooth speaker that's not included with the camper. Now, technically, this is an overhead bunk. I don't have that light flipped on, obviously. Technically, I don't know. I don't know. It's got a single little bunk up here. So, here's the thing. I mean, like, you can tell from the fact that I'm like, I hesitate to even call it, like, even suggest it's a sleeping space. It is so small in here, and the nose tapers so much. I don't personally realistically consider this a viable sleeping space. What I do consider it, though, is a pretty decent overhead shelf area. Because you get that bed out of there, you get that mattress out, you get to see how deep this is. That's actually not a bad storage space. I think you could really put some totes up here, and I mean, you can see how much depth is there in that little lip right there, about, what, a good 2.5 inches, something like that. I think you could realistically use this for a very valid upper storage area. Obviously, you don't want to be, like if you're an outdoorsy type person, you don't want to be loading your heavy stuff like all of your ammunition up here or something like that. You want to make this like Crocs, socks, and undies. but it's useful. It's not a useless space. I just don't think it's best used the way that it looks from the factory. I kind of wish they wouldn't even include the mattress up here myself. Is it just me? And of course, our bathroom. And then we're going to take a look at, finally, the living room. We haven't really seen it in the living room setup yet. So it is a dry bath. It is a separate toilet and shower. If you take a look on the right-hand side of the screen, though, you can see the right-hand elbow room is somewhat limited. It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's a tiny little camper. I think that if you can get okay out of the bathroom, I think that's doing pretty well. We got the Cherokee shub over here, and notice it's a dry bath. It's not a shoilet where the shower and the toilet are all one thing, but we do have a shub shower tub combo. And around the corner over here, so you don't have to wash your bathroom hands in your kitchen sink, it does have the little mini Cherokee shower sink right there, where the shower head actually doubles as the sink faucet, as it were. And just for reference, this is a 6.5 foot tall camper. That's the other thing. This is like a camper first and a toy hauler second, but that's why it's lighter weight, it's less money. If I stand in that skylight little vent fan area there, I can actually stand up in this shower space, which can't always do in a little trailer. But again, what's really cool about this one, it's not just a garage with a bed. Back here, you got this little do-it-all dinette station. You could convert that into just a pair of open lounges. You see how that's a totally free-floating elliptical-based table? That could go out on the patio. That could go under the awning. Obviously, you could use it here for dining. You've got a perfect little staring contest station going on where you and, the challenger looking for the crown can just lock eyes with one another until one of you finally flinches. I mean, you don't have to use it for that. I'm just saying it's possible. You could use it for, you could start a campground staring contest. Everybody pays $5, and then, you use that to take yourself out to dinner or something. Just an idea. But, of course, this can always fold down into another sleeping space. And I think instead of that little, I don't even know if I want to call it a bunk over the bed. Instead of that little shelf over the bed with a bunk mattress, I think that this is probably what I would use more often than not if I was worried about getting a guest sleeper in here. What is your take on that, though? And again, kind of like we're looking at the back of this, you can use it like a fully enclosed hard-sided trailer that just maybe you load cargo in and out of. It doesn't have to be motorcycles again. It could just be e-bikes and stuff. Then once it's unloaded, here you go. Or on a rainy day, maybe you're encapsulated inside, but on a sunshiny day, you can open your inside up to the outside and really expand your living space. Now, right up front here, you've got that aluminum sweep on the nose instead of corrugated, which is something I think just aesthetically I find a little more pleasing. This little 7-foot body, it's easy to see around. That being said, I always recommend towing safety mirrors. It's just one of those things. You spent all that money on the vehicle. You spent this money on the trailer. Why would you skimp a little bit on the little safety device that might help keep you and this and your vehicle, safely on the road and avoiding collisions? It boggles my mind how often I see people skip on the inexpensive little safety updates, And that's the kind of thing, if you don't have those and you need those, give us a call. Maybe we can help you work those right into your financing or something like that, or get you an all-inclusive figure. I mean, we can make things happen. We can make things work. Now, the reason I want to get up here by the tongue, you see that manual tongue jack right there. But what you may not realize, look on the right-hand side of the screen, this has the Cherokee Quickjack system. 8 seconds up and down with your little drill. And there you go. That's all it takes. You can pretend you're a NASCAR pit crew driver with this thing. It operates a heck of a lot faster than a power jack or a manual. I'm a big fan of those things. I think those are very, very cool. Now, again, this is available in either the aluminum, or sometimes people call it tin skin, or the Black Label fiberglass skin series. We do carry them both here at Haylett RV. One thing I want to mention, though, is that the nose will always be aluminum. And I mentioned an aluminum sweep on the nose. The nose skin is 67% thicker than the sidewall skin. The entire nose is basically a protective stone guard, effectively. You don't realize it because it doesn't all look like diamond plate. Handy little propane cooker hooker right down here as well. Easy to miss. Nice big pocket in there to put that grill. Now you notice that tire just laying loose in there. Spare tires are actually optional on these. That being said, I mean, it's an option that we apply to our stocking inventory 10 times out of 10. I just can't imagine not having that there for a potential client. But there's no rear bumper because it's a toy hauler, because the wall folds down. There's not really a lot of other places to put it, so it just kind of stores under the bed. I do like, though, how Cherokee shows some concern for their customers. That big chunk of carpet that tire was on right there, it just helps keep the, like, potentially the oils from the tires and stuff from seeping into the linoleum. I've actually seen tires basically leave a mark on the floor where they had been left for a while. That tempered glass front door right there, looking awful smexy, and remember, it does have the viewing window. Not to mention, you've got a across the bed window, you got the big, just across the camper window here with the TV hookups below it, and then the extra little window across from the kitchen. They did a good job of giving us some door side window coverage on this little thing. Now, there's speakers on either side of the window, but if we look above the right-hand speaker, you see that black little rectangle right there. That is a little two-way air vent. So if you're loading something in this that has a combustion engine, you don't want your camper smelling like exhaust, you know, I don't know. And if you do, leave them shut. But what you can do with those is while you're rolling down the road, you can use those to help exhaust the smell of your exhaust. Yeah, I guess I should have really thought about how that was going to roll out of my mouth before I let it roll out of my mouth. Then again, thinking before I speak is probably not why you're tuning into these videos right here. Now, we had a look at it earlier, the LCI Insight camera system, but you see you've got the double roll-down tent screen wall there as well. Not to mention the fact that one of the cool things on this camper is that it has a pair of positive, cam locks for that rear ramp door, just like a big giant luxury fifth wheel toy hauler effectively. What I like about those is they can be key locked for security. It's not a situation where somebody can just walk up with a pair of padlock cutters or bolt cutters and chop the padlocks off this and go rifling through your trailer. Don't get me wrong, this thing's not a fortress. If somebody wants to get in, they're gonna get in. But it's just another way of kind of keeping people out of it, you know what I mean? Because outside storage is kind of at a premium on these, on any of the Cherokee toy haulers, whether it's this little Wolf Pup or the Gray Wolves, or even up through the bigger Wolf Packs, the big toy hauler members of the Cherokee extended family, you get that handy little sewer hose caddy there. Little dump station courtesy light just in front of the tire. Over here, we have the hot-cold outside utility shower, which is kind of nice. Now, Cherokee has standardized location of that, all that stuff, basically, the water heater, which on this is gas and electric and simultaneous use and fast recharge, which, well, actually technically is the same thing as simultaneous use. Basically, just under 18 gallons of hot water per hour. Not everybody in a single axle does that. 4-corner stabilizer jacks. Not everybody in a single axle does that. There's a lot of really good execution qualities that go into this, and they're easy to miss because just at a glance, you know, it just looks like a camper. They really are nailing the fine details on here, I think. And we've reached the point in the video I really ask for your input. Let me know what you like, what you'd like to see changed given the opportunity, any questions maybe you have. And again, when it comes to measurements, guys, there's too many things to measure. I can't predict what thing someone else is going to want to load into this because of the flexibility of it. I have to rely on our team here. I can't necessarily answer every single question in every single video every single time before someone asks it. There's just too many opportunities. So I do need to rely on my team a little bit. If you're like, hey, listen, I've got a such and such thing. It has these dimensions. Our team's happy to walk out here with a tape measure and verify that it will or will not work for you. There's just no way I can predict all that up front. I've tried. Inevitably, somebody wants another measurement, or I've actually done it and they don't pay attention anyway and ask me regardless. So that happens all the time. Like, I put the weights and the measures and the links and everything right at the start of the video and in the description and on our website's listing, and people still want to know what it weighs. There's just only so much I can do to try to help everybody here, but I think that we've gone through and we've done quite a bit. And if you appreciate that, hit the like button, or if you haven't done so, hit the like button and subscribe and catch the next one as it comes out. And hopefully I'll be able to get you some updated Black Label footage too if I haven't by the time you watch this. Maybe I've already done that. I forget sometimes that you're not necessarily only watching these when they come out, and now I'm rambling. I should probably wrap this up. So, when you're ready, we're ready. We don't do hidden dealer fees. We just do everything else. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I don't know about you. I sure have fun putting this stuff together. Thanks for watching. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylet camping, everyone.